Rangers are taking matters into their own hands, and this could be the moment Scottish football is forced to confront a growing problem head-on. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. The Ibrox club have officially set the wheels in motion for a major summit on April 23rd in Glasgow, where Premiership clubs will be invited to address mounting concerns over refereeing standards. Frustration has been simmering for months, but now Rangers are escalating the situation, pushing for what they describe as structural improvements rather than the usual cycle of complaints over individual decisions. Behind the scenes, discussions have already taken place with Willie Collum, as well as at SPFL board level, a clear indication that this is no longer just fan frustration, but an issue being taken seriously at the highest levels of the game. What makes this even more intriguing is the stance being taken. Rangers aren't simply looking to highlight problems, they want long-term solutions. Early signs suggest there's been positive feedback from other clubs about attending the meeting, though it remains unclear how many will officially take part. However, in a twist that adds further tension to the situation, the Scottish Football Association will not be present. That absence could prove significant. If clubs reach a unified position, Rangers and their Premiership counterparts are expected to take their proposals directly to the governing body, effectively turning this into a coordinated push for change. The backdrop to all of this is growing frustration across the league. A recent flashpoint came during a chaotic 2-2 draw involving Kilmarnock, where a late penalty decision took 8 minutes to resolve due to a VAR calibration issue, a moment that perfectly summed up the concerns around the current system. Dundee manager Stephen Pressley didn't hold back, pointing the finger not at officials, but at the system itself. I actually feel for our officials. We've put them in a really difficult situation. The problem we have in this country is the lack of investment into the technology that's required. It's a sentiment that's beginning to echo across Scottish football. Clubs already contribute over £1.2 million annually towards VAR, yet questions remain over whether the technology and its implementation is fit for purpose. Rangers have even indicated they'd be open to increasing that investment if it leads to better decision making, though whether others will follow suit remains to be seen. With some matches operating on as few as 6 cameras compared to up to 16 in televised fixtures, inconsistencies are becoming harder to ignore. Now all eyes turn to April 23rd. If Rangers can rally enough support and present a united front, this meeting could mark the beginning of real pressure being applied on the authorities. Because this isn't just about one decision, one match, or one club anymore. It's about whether Scottish football is finally ready to fix a system that many believe is no longer good enough. In other news, Boyata and Mioski cut a figure of quiet determination rather than frustration. Left out of the starting 11 once again, the North Macedonian forward had every right to feel disheartened, but instead, he embodied the mentality Danny Röhl has been demanding from his squad. The message from the manager before kickoff was simple: stay ready because your moment will come. And when it did, Mioski seized it emphatically. Röhl had strongly considered throwing Mioski in from the start against Falkirk, acknowledging just how close the striker came to making the lineup. But ultimately, he opted to hold him back, perhaps with one eye on how the game might unfold. That decision proved inspired, not because Mioski didn't deserve to start, but because his impact from the bench would go on to completely transform the contest. At half-time, Rangers found themselves trailing 2-1 in a chaotic encounter that threatened to spiral away from them. A late first-half goal from Tochi Chikwani had offered a glimmer of hope, but Falkirk still looked dangerous, particularly with their direct approach. Roll knew something had to change, and he acted decisively. On came Mioski, introduced alongside Youssef Chermiti in a bold tactical switch designed to wrestle control back at both ends of the pitch. The idea was clear: disrupt Falkirk's long ball threat at its source while simultaneously increasing Rangers' attacking presence. It was a gamble, but one that paid off in devastating fashion. What followed was nothing short of a second-half masterclass. Rangers erupted into life, overwhelming their opponents with relentless pressure and clinical finishing. 5 goals flew in after the break, completely turning the game on its head. Chermiti led the charge, pulling Rangers level before adding another later in the half. But Mioski was equally decisive, finding the net twice himself to underline his growing importance to the side. It wasn't just about the goals, it was about timing, composure, and mentality. Speaking after the match, Mioski highlighted exactly what was required in those tense moments at the interval. Every player needs to be ready. I came on in the second half and helped the team, he said. In this kind of situation, you need to stay calm. There is still 45 minutes to play, and of course, we can turn the game. We just needed to stay calm. We saw what we did wrong in the first half, created more chances in the second half, and, of course, scored. That calmness translated perfectly onto the pitch. Where Rangers had looked rushed and vulnerable before the break, they now appeared composed, purposeful, and ruthless. Mioski's presence gave the side a focal point, but also a partner dynamic that elevated the entire attacking unit. His mindset, however, is what will please Roll most. I'm always ready. If I start or come in the second half, or even for 5 minutes, I'm always ready to give my all. It doesn't matter how many minutes I play. That attitude is invaluable at this stage of the season, particularly with injuries beginning to shape selection decisions. With Ryan Naderi likely ruled out for the remainder of the campaign, the debate around deploying 2 strikers from the outset is gaining momentum. The immediate chemistry between Mioski and Chermiti has only added fuel to that discussion. For Mioski, though, the preference is secondary to the team's needs. At my previous clubs, I played with 2, I played alone, so for me, it doesn't matter, he explained. Of course, it's helpful when you play with 2 strikers. It's like you have someone close to you who can help you. When you play alone, you are more waiting in the box for the wingers, but it's up to the coach to choose who starts. That flexibility could prove crucial as Rangers push deeper into the business end of the campaign. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.